Greetings, this is Bloodrill and welcome back to Let's Play Lamplight City, where we are trying to find out how to fix the boiler. So I'm asking everybody because I have no idea who can tell me.
Addie?
What do you need, dear?
You weren't kidding about business picking up. You're averaging what, about 3 appointments per day?
More like 5. I told you, debutante ball season's busy.
Doesn't it get tiresome?
Not really. You'd be surprised at the sort of gossip I hear from my clients. I don't know what it is, but they just open up to me and tell me all kinds of personal things. You sure you don't want me to give you a trim?
I'm fine for now, dear. Thank you. I'd forgotten how good you are at écarté. You absolutely destroyed me the other night.
As I recall, you used to hold your own pretty well.
We should have another match soon. That way I can hone my skills.
Yes, we should. As long as you can concentrate, I'm sure you'll get as good as you used to be.
That was a dig on us taking the dragon, not being quite the man we used to be, I guess. Also, I'm not sure what écarté is. Sounds like a card game.
I can't believe the nerve of that narrow-minded old
But who
cow.
knows?
Who, Mrs. Delacroix? She's actually one of my nicest clients.
I don't know how you can tolerate her. If I were you, I'd strike her off my list.
If I did that for every one of my clients who thought the same as her, I'd be out of a job. That's just the way it is.
Maybe so, but it doesn't make it any less infuriating.
Our protagonist is a very angry man. I wonder if that started happening after our partner died, or he was always a very angry man.
Have you ever heard of a group called the Spectre Society?
I think I had a client once who mentioned it. There's some kind of spiritualist group, right?
So it would seem.
I don't really know anything else about them, sorry.
Addie, you wouldn't happen to have any manuals on repairing steam engines in your library, would you?
Thinking of changing careers?
No, there's just a boiler that needs repairing and I need to figure out how to do it.
A boiler? What kind of engine is it?
I'm not sure, but it had Whitney 200 embossed on the side.
Oh, of course. That's one of the most common steam engines around, used in practically everything. In fact, the player piano at the Firkin and Fryer had one, and that thing was always going out of alignment. If that's all that's happened with this one, I know how to fix it. Used to have to do it all the time.
Adelaide Fordham, you are just full of
Nice.
surprises.
Where is this boiler?
Not terribly far, it's a townhouse on St. Agnes in Livingston.
Let's go then. I could use some fresh air. Not quite a player piano, but it shouldn't be too tough. Would you like me to walk you through it, or would you prefer I fix it myself?
Why do we get the choice here? Strange, and I can't save either.
Please, tell me what I need to do.
All right, let's take a closer look. Right, the first thing you'll want to do is open up the firebox door and light that coal on fire. And it'll be a good idea to open the engine hatch too, so you can keep an eye on it.
Okay, now we can save.
That was easy enough. What's next?
Now you want to open the flue and close the fire door so the water in the tank starts boiling. Once that happens, steam will enter the dome, and that big pressure indicator will start going up. Assuming the steam valve is completely shut, of course.
And if it isn't?
Then the pressure will be transferred into the engine and the small indicator will go up. You want to use the valves to balance out the pressure and get just the right amount into the engine before starting it up.
And what is the right amount?
If I remember correctly, it was 3 on the small gauge. Less than that and the engine won't start. Any higher will tear the thing apart.
All right, here goes nothing.
Okay, we need this valve to be open. So
It won't go any further in that direction.
I think it's open, right? You open things on the right and you close them on the left. So everything is open. I don't see the valve. Up there, it goes up. Ooh, way up. There we go. 3, right? What's happening? This is a 2? Maybe it is 2 and not 3. Yeah, that is 2. Alright. Success is mine.
Maybe if the private investigator thing doesn't work out, we can start our own engine repair service.
What's up,
Boilers
Kelp?
are a lot like people, you know. They need to let off steam occasionally.
Ooh, second dig of the
You do
day.
well to remember that, dear.
She's dropping all the
Be
hints.
off for my appointment with Mrs. Lupone. I'll see you tonight.
Say thank you to your wife. She's here, you know, for helping you. Something. Dude, come on.
Yes? What is it?
Fix the boiler for you.
What? Are you serious? It's pretty pathetic when some yahoo off the street does a better job than the people paid to do this sort of thing. I owe you, friend.
Might I take you up on that offer and get that spare key to the apartment?
Oh, right. You said you were a private detective, didn't you?
Who wears a jacket inside their house? Well, I guess the house was cold.
I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe that's why.
Which is why I need to take a look inside her apartment.
I see. Well, I wouldn't normally do this, but you did me a great service by fixing the boiler. I can't just give you the spare key, but I can let you into the apartment.
That'll be just fine. Thank you.
What in the ether?
Cripes, did a tornado come through this place or what?
Looks as though she definitely left in a hurry. I wonder if she planned on ever coming back.
I'll be waiting for you in the kitchen, Mr. Fordham. Just let me know when you're done looking around.
Sure.
There's a handwritten note here. Valerian mixed with chamomile, sedative effects, deep sleep.
Seems Mrs. Walker's an amateur herbalist.
Maybe not so amateur. I'd love to see the look on Mrs. Davis's face if she knew it wasn't a spirit that possessed her. In fact, let's go tell her, so I can see it.
You've gotten fairly misanthropic in your death, Bill.
Have I? I hadn't noticed.
Clue added. So she dragged the old lady / nanny.
Torn apart. She took most everything. Well, it doesn't appear she had much to
Interesting.
take.
Well, we knew about that already,
I thought
actually,
my
or
apartment was messy.
we suspected.
You're actually gonna dig through that mess? I sure hope it's worth it. A receipt with yesterday's date. One-way train ticket to Pierre in Lorraine. Departed this afternoon.
Thought she could get away easy, it seems. Well, I hate to disappoint her.
Yep, so it's pretty clear she's the person responsible.
A fairly recent model. Linda must have spent a good portion of her wages on it. Nice patterns. I wonder if Linda makes all her own clothes.
I don't know that word.
Boy, can't be more than 7 or 8 years old. If that's Linda's son, why would she leave this behind?
Good question.
She got a replacement. Daguerreotype. I don't know. Weird.
Well, at least that painting cheers the place up a little bit. The books she left behind are all trashy romance novels. Why wouldn't she take
I think I saw that
They're
before.
clearly the best ones. That bit of torn wallpaper looks almost deliberate. What do you know? She hid a book behind the wallpaper. Looks like a journal.
I don't believe it. Can it be true? At tonight's meeting, I started up a conversation with Henrietta struck up. Charles Harris was born the day Alexander died, and he has blue eyes. I know I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but this is too perfect to be a fluke. To be sure, I need to find something of Alexander's appropriate for an infant. Maybe his old bear? Charles loved Barney. Henrietta told me she's never seen him react with such joy to any of his other playthings. There is no doubt now in my mind. Charles Harris is the reincarnation of my beloved Alexander. Wow, she's pretty crazy. At last we can be together again. At last I can seek his forgiveness. Oh yeah, she's gone. I just need to find a way to take him from his false parents without getting dear Henrietta in trouble. August 24th. I had that nightmare again last night. Alexander's cries of "Why did you do it, mother?" were nearly too much to bear. When I have him again, I can finally explain that I couldn't do anything to stop him. Thomas was a monster and I was at my wit's end. Dear Samuel had helped me so much and there was no turning back once he had consumed the tainted pie. How was I to know Alexander's friend will take ill and he will arrive home early? Watching my boy share the poisoned meal with his father was the worst moment of my life. Wow. Why the hell didn't you stop? I agree with Alexander's hypothetical cries. Finally, after months of thinking, I have a plan. Samuel's instruction of the nature of plant has been the key. I will visit Henrietta tonight at the Harris residence and prepare everything. It must look as though a burglar entered the nursery and took his coat. In 2 nights, I'll have my baby again.
Well, this is pretty damn incriminating.
I'll say. Now we just need to figure out how she managed to drug Mrs. Davis.
We already know that, right?
Oh, we've got you now, Linda. Thought you could be clever and get away with the baby, did you?
Bill?
Well, you thought wrong. With Fordham and Legere on the case, the only thing you're getting is a one-way trip to jail.
Bill?
And the worst part is how sloppy she was. I mean, really, she couldn't think to pick up a button? She might as well have left a signed confession in the crib for all the good it did her.
Bill, would you just shut up, for God's sake? Huh? Is everything all right?
Great, we're getting more crazy.
Everything's just fine. I just
Fucking
stubbed my
Bill.
toe on the bed frame.
You ought to be more careful, Mr. Fordham.
Sorry, Miles. You know how I get when we're close to solving a case.
You always do this. I need to concentrate, and I can't hear myself think with you yapping away.
Right, sorry. I'll keep it to
We
myself.
have some serious issues.
Thank
I don't think Bill is a ghost.
But you have to admit, she really would have saved us the trouble if...
Bill?
Right,
The game hasn't shown us
As you
anything supernatural so far. Only superstitions that were prevalent in those days. Okay, I guess we need to speak to the old lady about the drugs.
I hope you were able to find out what you needed.
Yes. Thank you for your cooperation.
That's the wrong house.
Oh, Mr. Fordham. Oh, thank God you're back.
What's going on?
Our butler just brought this in. He found it stuck to the gate outside.
Harris family, we have your son. If you ever want to see him again, you must stop building the new airship. We are not joking. Wow. That guy took what we told him and tried to make them stop building the airships. Really. Okay. I guess we can go talk to him too. We know he's not the person responsible.
Mr. Devons?
Yes?
Mr. Devons, can you tell me about this milk?
I've never seen that before in my life.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely. It's as I told you. I had nothing to do with that boy's kidnapping. I didn't even know he existed until you told me. Remember?
And that note...
Someone is lying.
He showed up right after you had that conversation. Let him stew in his own minds. His unique way of spelling is all the evidence we need to tie him to the note.
Very well, Mr. Devons. Forget I asked. Good day to you, Mr. Devons.
You too, Mr. Fordham.
This Arthur Devons joker is bad news. Not only is he making threats to the Harris family, he also has the nerve to send a ransom. We have enough evidence to pin the crime on him, I think. The police can deal with the headache of actually
We
finding
know
the
it's
data.
not him. It's really weird that I think the game tries to do something like the Sherlock Holmes games. Have multiple suspects for a case, but unlike the Sherlock Holmes games, These aspects so far have been pretty obvious who is the actual suspect and who is a red herring.
Hello
Maybe it
again.
will change in later cases.
I have some questions for you, Mrs. Davis.
All right.
Mrs. Davis, where did you get the tea you drank on the night of the kidnapping?
From my own private supply. I drink a blend of hibiscus and elderberry. It clears the mind and puts me more in tune with the spirits.
Did it taste off to you?
No. Why do you ask?
Because I think your tea may have been drugged.
Oh, wait, are you saying?
I believe Mrs. Walker used her
Poor
own
Mrs.
herb to drug
Doubtfire.
your tea, knowing you'd drink a cup the following evening. She then snuck into the house after you'd fallen asleep and took the child.
Oh, my word, I never would have thought.
I know, Mrs. Davis. But don't worry, I'm doing everything I can to find
It's a
her.
pretty crappy thing to do to
May
her.
the spirits guide you, Mr. Fordham.
But
Thank
she
you
is
for your
crazy
time,
again,
Davis.
so you
Oh,
know,
you're very welcome.
not her. Linda.
Well, I'd say we have everything we need to prove it was Linda who drugged Mrs. Davis's tea and took the child. And we know where she's going, too. Upton will want to know about this as soon as possible.
Yep. Yeah, it auto saves anyway. I might be over saving. It's a
I'll be
habit.
going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the spirits guide your path.
I guess we'll go and tell her we found the suspect.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
It was Linda Walker,
Who is she?
a seamstress, a friend of the Harris family nanny. She took the child because she believes he's the reincarnation of her deceased son, whom she accidentally poisoned.
My God.
Find a journal explaining her motive in her apartment, as well as the plants she used to drug Mrs. Davis.
But what about the broken window in the nursery?
All part of a false crime scene she set up to draw our attention away from her.
Excellent work, Miles. Did you manage to find out where Mrs. Walker is now?
Yes, I found a receipt for a one-way train ticket to Pierre, which departed this afternoon.
Fantastic. We can send a telegram to the train station and have her arrested upon arrival. You've done extremely well, Fordham. Snelling could only hope to have a detective as good as you again.
You flatter me.
Then I'd better stop before your head gets any bigger. All right, Miles.
flatter me.
I'll
Stop.
go through the proper channels and report your information as an anonymous tip. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan fund to get you proper compensation for your work. For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Welcome to Lorraine. An awfully cute baby you got there.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is my son, Alexander.
Alexandra. That's a good name.
This is the US,
Oh,
right?
Yes, thank you.
This looks like the US
I don't
completely.
mean to be rude,
This is a
but
sheriff.
I'm in a bit of a hurry and I need to get to my hotel.
And this looks like
Of
a
course.
western setting.
I won't keep you any longer, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you. Wait. How did you know my name?
I didn't. It was a lucky guess. But now, seeing as I know your name, allow me to tell you mine. I'm Sheriff Zeke Dollarhide. Linda Walker, you are under arrest for the kidnapping of Charles Harris. Surrender the child, come with me.
No, you've got it all wrong. This is my son. This is my Alexander.
Ma'am, please don't make this difficult. Come along to the station. We'll get this all sorted out.
So I think definitely this is the US. Now we know.
Addie, are you home?
Still at her appointment, it would seem. You know, Miles, I have to say, I'm proud of you.
Why's that?
It's because you actually listened.
So does this mean you'll keep quiet until morning?
I said I was proud of you. I didn't say you were getting a reprieve.
Then I need to figure out how I'm going to sleep through the night without the soporific.
You worry about that too much, Miles. You can sleep when you're dead.
You don't ever seem to.
That's because I slept quite enough when I was alive.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
Sending
ghost.
you
Doesn't
my
make any
head.
sense.
The best way to do that after a case was always going for a drink at the Angel.
He would shut up
Angel?
if it was a
You haven't
ghost.
been there since...
Since you died. But perhaps getting back into old routines will help.
Perhaps. It would be nice to see old Patrick again at the very least. Then it's settled. A drink or two at the Angel, for old time's sake. I have to say, it's been a real pleasure having you back, Miles. I was worried about you.
I appreciate your concern, Patrick. Past few months have been a bit rough, but it's good to be back in familiar territory.
Miles, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Well, it may be none of my business, and you can feel free to tell me to stuff it.
Enough with the preamble, Patrick. Just ask.
I know you quit the force, but why are you still working as a private investigator? Why not leave all that detecting stuff behind?
This window broken, it annoys me.
It's all I know. My grandfather was a cop, my father was a cop, so I became a cop. That's just how it went.
Oh, I hear ya. I come from 3 generations of butchers myself, but I broke the streak because I can't handle the sight of blood.
If only that had been true in my case.
Now then, will you be wanting another drink?
I'm not sure. I've already had 2. I should probably be getting... Wait a minute. Patrick, do you hear something?
No.
No, Miles. I don't hear anything.
Oh, that's...
Neither do I.
That's the point.
Another gin, if you please.
Coming right up.
Man, you go from one extreme to the other, dude. That's not creepy.
Must have taken a wrong turn back there. Hopefully Addie won't hear me come in.
We're drunk, and that's creepy as fuck, by the way. Whoever it is standing at the entrance.
Excuse me, sir. Could you spare a shilling?
Is the killer?
Here you are, my good man.
You always were willing to help the less fortunate, weren't you? But perhaps you should start thinking about helping yourself.
I beg your pardon?
Just look at yourself. I may be a beggar, but even I feel sorry for you.
Your voice. I've heard it before.
Yes, that's right. I'm your biggest failure.
What are you talking about?
The fuck?
Now, Miles, you're not completely stupid. You think finding and catching me is going to make things better?
I don't know. It might not, but at least I'll have closure.
Again with the lying to yourself. Let's say you do find me, and this grand chase finally ends. What do you do the next morning? You still have a dead partner, no real job. Your wife knows you've been keeping things from her. Even if you solve 100 cases, it won't relieve that.
This is a nightmare, I'm guessing.
What's your point?
I'm all you've got, Miles. Once I'm gone, there'll be nothing left. So just admit it. You don't want to find me. Not real.
Bad dreams?
You could say that. My head. How many drinks did I have last night?
You're asking the wrong person. I was out after the first one.
It seems Miss Maxwell was right about the effects of spirits.
You should have stopped at one.
Yeah, well, let's not make a habit out of it, all right?
Alright. That seems like a rather easy way to shut up that guy, if it's only one drink.
Pretty, but I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore.
So, you're up at last.
She doesn't seem happy.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you? I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Whatever may have happened, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Remorse comes before forgiveness, Miles. You don't even know what you're apologizing for.
Apologize in general.
Is that bad? What exactly did I do?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
I swear to you, this was a one-time mistake. You won't see me like that again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or two would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
And we're pissing our wife something fierce. Alright, I think this is a good place to end this episode. We'll start with the third case in the next one. For now, thank you for watching. As usual, feel free to leave a comment if you want to, subscribe, like, all the good stuff. And I will see you next time with more Lamplight City.